Yeah. Oh, yeah, all the
Just hang
time.
tight on that. There you go.
Because that
We'll go right up to it.
that's all it does, you gotta have time to reboot,
Yeah.
put a new one in
Can
there.
we close this door when you
Please.
both are?
You can go ahead and close right now, yep. You ready? Everybody good? Go ahead, Jesse.
So, you roll?
Good afternoon. I'm Eric Flowers with the Indian River County Sheriff's Office and Acting Public Information Officer for Indian River County Emergency Operations Center. We're going to give you a few updates here and let you know what we've got going on at the moment. Indian River County remains under a hurricane warning. The county also remains under a state of emergency issued by County Administrator Jason Brown on Friday, August 30th. We're also under a state of emergency by the governor. A mandatory evacuation order was issued this morning at 8 a.m. For all areas east of US Highway 1, including the Barrier Island, low-lying areas, and anyone in substandard or manufactured housing. We've also added that Airbnb is offering free housing to those fleeing Hurricane Dorian, and on our social media and web, we have a link to that if folks are in need of that option. All tolls have been lifted for travel in the state of Florida, so if you're evacuating, certainly now is the time. We know that later this evening, storm winds will start to hit Indian River County, and if you plan to evacuate, you should already be on the roadways. We also know that traffic remains light on I-95, the Turnpike, and State Road 60 leaving Indian River County. Uber has announced free travel as well to shelters. If you need travel to shelters, you can go to our social media and find that information. The causeways and bridges to the Barrier Island remain open at this time. They will not be closed until the time that we receive tropical storm force winds making travel unsafe. We expect those winds to come in later tonight. So if you're a resident on the Barrier Island who plans to evacuate, you need to get off the island. We will close the bridges when it is no longer safe, so please keep that in mind. We suspect that that will probably be sometime either late tonight, overnight, or early morning tomorrow when that happens, based on the forecast at this time and the fact that the storm has stalled somewhat. Our next press conference will be here at 7 p.m. tonight with the latest update. I'd like to remind you about our Hurricane Dorian hotline. Please do not call 911 or our non-emergency line unless you need EMS, fire, or law enforcement. If you have questions about the hurricane, you can call 772-226-4000, 772-226-4000 for all Dorian-related questions. Be sure to follow our social media as we're keeping regular updates on there. And at this time, Indian River County does not have any curfews in effect, and we don't have any plans for any curfews. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to County Administrator Jason Brown for more information.
All right, thank you, Major Flowers. Good afternoon. I'm Jason Brown, Indian River County Administrator. Want to go the shelters. All of our shelters are currently open. We have our special needs shelter at Treasure Coast Elementary. Our total census on that most currently is 249. Our pet-friendly shelter at Liberty Magnet Elementary, we have 32 total with 14 pets there. Our other shelters, we have 4 general population shelters. For that information, you can go to irces.com and find that location. Those locations, we have 2 as of last count at those shelters. We have plenty of the shelters. If you are needing shelter during the storm and do not have other accommodations, our website. Also follow us on Facebook and on social media. The Emergency Operations Center encourages all businesses to close as of 2 p.m. this afternoon. So as of now, the school district has canceled all classes through Wednesday. Go Line and all public transportation has ceased. All county convenience centers and the landfill are currently closed until further notice. All airports, beaches, public parks, libraries, and marinas are closed. All government offices and the courthouse are closed. These offices will remain closed until further notice. We will let you know when that occurs. The Emergency Operations Center is currently on activation. As Major Flowers mentioned, we have that hotline if you have any questions. The number is 772-226-4000, 4,000. So if you have questions about anything related to Dorian, please call that number. You can follow us on our government channel 27 on your cable channel. Please follow those directives. Everyone be safe to be getting to where you're going to be for this storm. I know it's going slow and everyone's getting a little impatient, but please keep your cool, stay calm out there, be smart, as I know our Indian River County residents are great, smart folks who know what they're doing. You know what to do. Have any questions, call that line, the hotline 226-4000, and everyone stay safe out there. Thank you.
Any questions?
How many people can the shelters accommodate? I know you guys mentioned that there's still plenty of room, but how many people can you take in?
You want to take it?
Yes, we have, we can take in a couple thousand more than we have, so we do not anticipate a capacity issue. We have far more capacity than the 220 and change at the general population shelters. Should those shelters reach capacity, we do have a second wave of shelters. We have a total of 15 shelters in the
Can you
county.
just reiterate again which areas are under mandatory evacuation?
Yes, so the Barrier Island, all properties east of US 1, those in substandard housing, mobile homes, manufactured homes, and any areas known to flood. Those are under a mandatory evacuation as of 8 o'clock this morning.
Can you provide an update on area hospitals and medical centers?
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, why don't you mind?
Yeah. Late last received word from River Medical Center that they made the determination it was their staff and for their patients to evacuate. We had assistance from the state to move patients. Some patients were taken to Indian River, Cleveland Clinic, Indian River. Some were taken to Weston. Everyone is safe and evacuated. As you know, on the north end, they're very close to the and certainly flooding was a concern for them. They're sort of a low-lying area, and we think it was a good decision. So they're safe, and we're ready to go.
And what about Cleveland Clinic?
Cleveland Clinic, we've been in constant contact with them. They feel very comfortable. They're in a good spot. They've got a few people that out that were some critical patients, but for the most part, when they're safe, it will remain open throughout the storm. We feel good. If anybody needs them, and our ambulances will be running, and we'll be taking people to Cleveland Clinic and Indian River. We have a great partnership with them, and they've been wonderful to work with.
The Emergency Operations Center is currently in a level 1 activation status. When do you guys expect to raise that?
Level 1 is full activation. We are operational, full activation since 8 o'clock this morning. We will remain open and operational for 24 hours until further notice.
When do you guys expect to people to leave, come and go?
We're there. Yeah, and that's our level 1 status. When we showed up today, we've got all of our clothes, we're ready to stay, and as do everyone working right now.
We'll be here for the duration. And we've got a great team here. Our emergency management folks, our partners with the Sheriff's Office and all law enforcement, the municipalities, the school district. Everyone's been great on this. I can't speak more highly of our folks. We've got great folks. They're working hard to make sure to keep Indian River County residents safe.
Now, the Sheriff's Office down in Palm Beach County made sure to make mention that he and his staff will not be checking immigration status of those who are looking to go to evacuation shelters. Are we doing the same thing here?
When the folks check into the shelter, they're not required, they're just coming, anybody who's seeking shelter will be allowed to go into the, we're not out there looking for, if somebody has a warrant or something like that, obviously we would deal with it, but we're not in the situation now.
Are there any concerns about any areas? I know over on the causeway there was some tape because of or maybe it was in Sebastian, where the boat ramps are.
Flooding causeways.
Where there was some water that was.
One of the significant threats to this storm, where the track keeps it offshore, however, there's a potential for storm surge here. We can have 4 to 6 feet of storm surge. We're also at a time where where there are the king tides, so the tides are very high. So in the coastal areas, that is not just the ocean, but along the lagoon, there is a threat of storm surge there, and that went into the evacuation order.
Are you having any problems with keeping people off the beaches? Some of the counties down south were reporting that they were.
We have had a few issues with people who are choosing to go on the beaches even though they are closed, and we're regularly patrolling those beaches. And as we see folks, we're asking them to move along. We're asking them to come back up onto the shore, stay away. Certainly very dangerous. We know that tide is going to be huge, and they need to stay off the beaches. So we just continue to encourage that they not spend any time out there.
You guys patrolling the Barrier Island area?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I know people who are evacuating might be concerned that there would be people who are kind of looking through their neighborhoods.
Absolutely. I can promise you that the deputies, we have law enforcement all on the Barrier Island. They're going to, as long as we can leave them there, as long as it's safe for them to be there, and we'll continue to patrol that area regularly.
Have you guys gotten any complaints of people who were under mandatory evacuation who were maybe leaving their pets behind?
I've not had any complaints about that. Only shelter is available. Many of the hotels will waive the pet requirement, the pet requirements during a state of emergency. So we've had no problems with that at this point.
I did get a question from one of our viewers asking what pet is deemed to be a pet. We may have a folk who, has a non-traditional domestic pet. Are you turning away any families who don't have a dog or a cat and they may have something else that is a domestic?
Our pet center is set up to take dogs and cats. We hope to have they should have a plan for their entire family and pets.
I can tell you right out here, somebody showed up with a truckload of 24 chickens, and they took in the chickens. So it's not something where we're going to turn them away. We'll do what we can. Obviously, up with pythons and alligators like that, but certainly we'll do our best to accommodate. Any other questions?
Well, can we stress to the viewers how serious this storm is? A lot of folks are saying it's a slow move, and it may veer to the right, it may not hit us, and they're dating back to their experiences with Matthew and Irma. How serious should they take it?
Obviously, we've seen the devastation in the Bahamas. We know that the storm has slowed down a little bit, but it's still a very dangerous storm. Wind speeds that it's reaching right now would be devastating if they made landfall. We continue to pray and hope that it does make this turn that everybody's forecasting, but we need to continue to take it very seriously. Either a resident boarded up, that taking down any of their shutters, that businesses are remaining closed when we're asking them to stay closed, and it appears as though the county is taking this very seriously. Thank you. We'll be back here tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I think someone said they had a pet alligator.
Don't show up with
It was
that
a
alligator.
comfort pet, so it's like, don't know if I could